So in this Fallout 76 video, I'm going to be showing you all some of the most secretive secrets that the developers added into the game that you probably never discovered. At least I hope you don't know all of these that I'm about to be showing y'all. That is the goal of uploading this video, to introduce you guys to something new. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into all of these. And by the way, please feel free to use the timestamps too to help navigate you through this video. If you already know something that I'm covering, just skip to the next one. And as a reminder here in the beginning, before I get into all of this, feel free to leave a like on the video. It'd be awesome if we can get this video to surpass 500 likes. As always, that's totally up to you though. Just leaving a reminder here in the beginning. I will say your support, guys, is seriously very motivating to keep posting content. But yeah, let's get into all of this now. Hope you find this enjoyable. So this first one I'm going to be showing you all though is over the only way to get and eat roast chicken. You can't cook this, oddly. The only way to get it is over at the trading post at the Skyline Valley region. It's located right here on the map. If you wait around here long enough, which, trust me, I waited around here way too long. Like, I don't know, this seems completely random. It doesn't seem like it's set on some kind of timer of when this can happen. I felt like I was waiting here for hours, to be real with you guys. But eventually, these chickens spawned over here around these crates. Typically, there are two friendly chickens that you will see here when you come to the trading post, and you will notice that they are friendly with you. These other chickens, though, that spawn over here next to these crates will not be friendly with you. As you see, I managed to wait around long enough and actually get footage of them spawning in. That was a lot of waiting. They spawned in after a lightning flash happened around the area. But yeah, this is foolproof that they do spawn in, and then after they do spawn in, a lightning storm will strike down around this area, hitting specifically these chickens too, and they will explode into roast chicken. Look at this. Dude, what in the world? Did you ever know that this could happen in the game? Like, be real. I've been playing this game a very long time. I've invested so many hours, thousands of hours, and I never knew that this was in the game until recently. And yeah, it's literally a new food item. I know some of you may be thinking, wait, we can make roast chicken. I know I was like that too. I was like, I thought we could have made roast chicken, but no, there's no recipe for roast chicken. This is the only way right now to get it. It would be cool if we could, like, you know, once we pick up the roast chicken, we learn the recipe to craft it or something, because it actually is kind of beneficial. I mean, it's not completely useless, but it's not like the most valuable thing ever though either. But it does increase your perception by 2, and of course it does heal you too. And it seemed to have spoiled really slow as well. As you see, when you eat it and go to your stats and effects, you will have the bonus called roast chicken that will last for 30 minutes. It will restore 2 HP per second, and it will give you +2 to perception. Keep in mind, you can make this have +4 to perception, and you can make it last an hour if you have the carnivore mutation on. That increases your benefits of the meat that you eat. Anyways, this next one is going to be another interesting find that you can discover once again in the Skyline Valley region from the lightning. This one will be located specifically at the Slumber Mill Motel down here in the region. Actually, that's all I'm going to be going over in this video. I'm going to be going over the 3 different secrets that I know of that involve the lightning. I'm sure there are more out there that just haven't been discovered yet, which, you know, hopefully by making this video it helps spotlight that these hidden occurrences can happen. It may chain react other players to discover other hidden occurrences that can happen down here that involves the lightning. Who knows? As you can see, here is the government aid drop on the back of this trailer, and it states it's inaccessible, but actually it's not. We can get a hint that it's not by going over here to the top of this Red Rocket gas station. Up here we can find a note called Supply Run, and here's what it says when you go to read it. I need you to go to the Red Rocket gas station and bring back whatever is in that supply crate. I don't care how long it takes. I don't care who else might want it. I don't care if God himself's got to throw down a lightning bolt to open it up. Don't come back empty-handed or let me down. Your lives will depend on it. Now, I don't know exactly who wants whatever was inside this supply drop, but the hint was in this note. It turns out you have to wait for lightning to strike this government aid drop to unlock it. It's freaking insane. And it is a totally random occurrence, it felt like anyways. I was waiting here for so long, but I finally managed to get a clip of this unlocking and showing the lightning striking this government supply drop. Heck, it even struck me too. So yeah, a very interesting secret that I know a lot of players missed, and I just had to share it in this video. It's awesome that the environment is part of this secret. Unfortunately, there's nothing too special though in the government supply drop. I managed to see this unlocked in game 3 different times, and yeah, figured out it's just randomized loot within it. And heck, some of the times you may come over here and the lightning has already struck the supply drop, so it'll already be unlocked for you. Yeah, keep that in mind. If it's already unlocked, that's because the lightning already struck it. Okay, so next up here, I'm going to be covering something that can happen over at the Naked Creek location down in the Skyline Valley region. When coming over here, you might have ran into a Blue Devil, which is a very strong creature that you can go up against in Fallout 76. Well, it turns out at this location, something actually lures the Blue Devil to this place. Over here, you can find a ham radio connected to a satellite dish on top of these crates overlooking the Naked Creek camp here, which the Blue Ridge Caravan ran. And, well, it turns out if you wait around long enough for the storm to strike this ham radio, you'll see like a lightning strike hit the ham radio. And once it does, well, I'll go ahead and play out what happens, and then I'll get more into detail about it. Here's what happens. So yeah, that's what happened. The lightning struck the ham radio, and once it did strike the ham radio, this weird sound started to go off. It was almost like an alarm or something. It reminded me of the sound from the Safe and Sound events. I think it actually is the same sound that goes off right before the Blue Devil appears during that event, which is what we run into after the lightning strikes the ham radio. So it makes sense. It's like that sound is like a lure for the Blue Devil. I just didn't find it immediately. It just took me a minute to come across it. Keep in mind, it does spawn just around in the vicinity once the lightning does strike the ham radio, oddly. It's like this sound attracts the Blue Devil or something. And yeah, this was a beefy, crowned Blue Devil cryptid fight. So yeah, I mean, come a little prepared for this. This is obviously a like little mini boss fight that happens. I mean, even once it appears in your sights, like boss battle music starts to play. Now, I'm not saying this is like an in-game boss where the whole server has to join up to fight. No, but I am saying this is a beefy enemy, like a boss that you would, go against in the game. If you're like running through some quests or something. Also, something else unique that happened that I really haven't seen much is once the lightning did strike, the Thrashers had electricity flowing around them. So the lightning also struck them, and the electricity stayed flowing around them. Thought that was pretty cool. Haven't seen that kind of detail like that in the game before. Either way, this is something really interesting. I just wanted to spotlight that the developers added in that I'm sure many players missed. I mean, who wants to just wait around and just wait for lightning to strike this ham radio for literally hours? You know what? I'm not even going to question that, because I'm one of those guys that wanted to wait around to just see this happen in game, and also to record it and spotlight it to show more of the community that this is something that can happen. The storm down in the Skyline Valley can trigger a bunch of secrets that probably a lot of players haven't discovered yet, still till this day maybe. Okay, so this next one is going to be a spooky one, and it's a longer one because there's 3 different parts to it, but it's definitely interesting. Probably one of the most intriguing secrets Bethesda has added in the game. Let's get into all of this. So yeah, first things first, we're going to be heading on over to Atlantic City and going specifically over to the boardwalk. Now you can start an expedition and head over here and find a secret, or you can just travel to District and find the secret. Totally up to you. I'm just going to go ahead and travel to District, since that's one of the new features that was added within the most recent update. We're able to just travel over to Atlantic City without, you know, doing an expedition. It's pretty nice. There's more NPCs around and stuff, and yeah, we're not on like a mission when we're over here. So when you get over here, you want to head on over to that building right there. Something really strange inside there.
Protect and serve.
I'm actually going to turn off the sound effects for the NPCs that talk, just because I want you guys to hear what happens when we do something in here. Okay. Alright, the NPCs' voices are off. Now let's head inside here. It is going to be locked, so keep that in mind if you go and try to do this for yourself. So yeah, when we unlock this place and enter inside here, you're going to notice right off the bat this corpse with a clown inside of it, with blood splattered on the wall. You can also see like scratches on the wall, and I don't know, just a lot of bizarre things. Definitely something went down in here, right? And right next to this body, you can find a text on the wall that states "he is seen," with this picture frame right here with a Bowie knife in front of it, some gumdrops, and eyeballs in front of the picture frame as well. We're going to be finding more of these eyeballs around, not just here. I'm telling y'all, this is a strange and spooky Easter egg in the game. It's probably one of the spookiest ones in Fallout 76, honestly, and there's some pretty spooky ones. But yeah, here's what happens when we pick up this small picture frame with a clown on it. You'll notice that the door shuts immediately out of nowhere, and our screen starts acting really weird. It's like we just got poisoned or something, right? Really weird. It's getting a little blurry here. States "he is seen" right here. And this starts playing out of nowhere. Yeah, what the heck, right? And check this out. When you exit out of this place, look what's on top of the building now. That clown, right up there. It was not there before, either. Really creepy. You're going to notice more will spawn around, too, the more we get in depth with this Easter egg. But yeah, a random clown up there. I'll go ahead and try to make my way up to it. I might have to use my power armor. So we're up here with it. See if I can get any closer. Nope, that's about as close as I can get to it. Yeah, this is about as close as I can get to it. But oddly enough, this clown spawns up here. And it was not there before. I'll show you proof of that after I show you the rest of this secret. I'll come back here on a different character just to show you it doesn't start up here. You can't interact with it or anything either. It's really weird. It's like behind an invisible barrier up there. But yeah, more will spawn around. You're going to find that out here in a second. I'm going to show you another area where you can go for something really bizarre to happen. So, from this shack that spawned that one, we're going to be heading this way. There's like serial killer clowns going on in the Atlantic City. And honestly, it may be even worse than serial killer clowns. Seems like a haunting or something happening. But yeah, if we head this way from that shack, down this corridor, then head over here, down this corridor over here, you'll find the next little secret in this area. Right over here, you can find this guy. Some kind of clown mannequin wearing eyeballs, and it also has a red nose. Looks like it slaughtered whatever was here. This person. You can see the blood in the background, and it states "he see." I'll go ahead and zoom in on this one. Look at that. But yeah, you could take some things off of this and check this out. Freaking creepy. And doing this, it also chain reacted another clown to spawn somewhere too. But before I go and show you where that clown is, I'll go ahead and show you where to go for the next thing to spawn another clown in the area. So let's backtrack here. If we head this way, and then we're gonna head all the way over there, so let's make our way that way. And then over here, we can find a corner building right up here that's destroyed. The corner of the building is destroyed here. So let's climb up to this, and up here we can find this going on. Looks like this person is filming this mannequin with metal buckets on it. We can also find this little clown down here, and this states she see. I don't know what's up with all this. Once again, this is just such a bizarre and creepy secret Bethesda decided to add in, but I find it interesting. I like that they did this because, I don't know, just makes exploring around even more interesting in Atlantic City. But yeah, when we take these buckets off of this mannequin's head, check out what happens. There's a couple of them. Once again, we could find those eyeballs on her that were actually like cut out of someone's eye sockets and put on these mannequins. I think it was the serial killer clowns. But also, the music will start playing again eventually. There it goes. So creepy. But anyways, now let's head back to the main area of the place. It'd be interesting if some of these NPCs like talked about these killer clowns that haunted this place or something. So weird. But yeah, triggering all of these little secrets that were around in Atlantic City spawned even more clowns. As you know now, there's a clown that spawned up there, which nothing happens if you shoot him, by the way. I'll show you that real quick. But as you know, that one spawned up there after triggering the secret that happens in that shack. Real quick, I'll show you. Nothing happens when shooting it. Unfortunately. I'll even toss an explosive up there. Yeah, nothing happens. But yeah, the other one spawns over here once you trigger that second one. It'll spawn this way from the beginning. It'll spawn right up here on this fire escape, as you can see. That's where the second one will spawn. And oddly enough, once again, can't do nothing to it. It's just up there. It looks just like the animatronic clowns that we can spawn typically at our camp, for those of you that know. Anywho, the third one will spawn not too far from this area. If we keep traversing, is it this way? Yeah, this way. Then head down this alleyway. We can find a third clown spawned somewhere around here. Wait, no, not this. We turn around, and yeah, it'll be over here in this destroyed rubble. We can find its feet sticking out. So 3 clowns spawned after triggering this. I think they're haunting the area. Alright, so like I mentioned before at the beginning of this video, I'm going to go ahead and show you all that these clowns don't originally spawn at these areas. Check this out. So, yeah, clown's not up there anymore. But this area only spawns there after you pick up that picture. As you can see here too, the clown isn't up there on that fire escape anymore. And also, the clown isn't in the ground anymore at this area. Really weird. I don't know if there's more to this secret than what I've shown you. I'm not positive. This could be it. Either way, it's really interesting and figured I'd share it with y'all. Okay, so these next secrets will also involve one big one. I'm going to also count this as 3 because there's some secret keys that you have to discover, a secret location, and some very secretive lore you probably never knew existed in Fallout 76. The first thing that you want to get that's a part of this secret is the cell key that you can find over at Huntersville. As As you see, Huntersville is located right here. Once over here, you just want to head through town. There's going to be, of course, plenty of super mutants that you will run into over in this area, so be warned of that. But yeah, you can find this hidden cell key that we're going to be able to use. That's part of the secret over here within this house. You're going to have to run through town, open up this gate here, and inside this building at the top floor, you can find a bed, and underneath the bed here, you can see cell key W9FZ was hidden right here. So yeah, that's one part of this secret. So once you got that key, the next part of the secret will be located over at Sugar Grove, which is located right here. Over here, there's a secret area that you can discover that you probably didn't know about. That's the reason why I went and got the cell key first, because once again, it involves this secret area that you can discover. But yeah, when you're over here at Sugar Grove, first off, what you want to do is head inside this place, and we're going to be finding another hidden key. This one is also just as hidden, something that you could easily miss. But yeah, once you're inside the place here, just take the route that I take. It's not too far in here. We're going to be heading to this place right here, the DEF CON room or whatever. Once you're here, you just want to head this way, and we're going to be heading into the back corner of this place. It's like a little maze of terminals back here. But yeah, you can find a hidden key right here. It's called the Black Site Guard Key. Once again, in the corner of this place. Extremely hidden, right? So once you got this key, now we can access even more areas within the secret area. We'll also be able to use that cell key that we picked up over at Huntersville too. Anyways, now we just want to head back outside, and the secret area here that you probably didn't know about is located at the back of this building. So just head to the back of this place, and there's going to be a locked door back here that you can unlock by hacking this terminal. It's a super easy terminal to hack into. It's literally a level 0 one, so shouldn't be no problem. And yeah, once you unlock it, you'll be able to gain access to this secret area. Okay, so yeah, once in here, now we can use that Black Site Guard Key to gain access to this secret place. That's at the back of Sugar Grove, as you can see. And down here, you're going to find some unusual things happening. You'll also find a few enemies that you can take on too, but nothing too difficult. You're going to find plenty of loot down here as well. Like right off the bat here, we got a safe that we can unlock if you want. There's plenty of things that you can loot down here. And also to gain entry to a lot of these places, it's going to require that Black Site Guard Key that we found hidden inside Sugar Grove. As you can see, they were doing some unusual experiments down here. I'll get into the lore in a little bit over this place, but for now I'm just going to give you a quick tour over this secret place. As you can see, look at this. What's going on here? Something extremely unusual. It's like they were doing experiments on them. Honestly, this gives me vibes from the memory den of Fallout 4. I mean, not exactly like it, but it just gives me vibes of it. It just gives me Institute and Enclave vibes going on down here. But yeah, that's definitely not all that we can find down in here that's unusual. As you saw earlier, we picked up a cell key, and that cell key is used to unlock one of the cells down here too. But like I mentioned before, there are multiple other cell keys, and you can find them right here. You can see, here's one cell key, here's another, and here's another. There's also one more you can find right over here, cell key B2RS. So yeah, that's all the cell keys that you can find down here. That makes a total of 5 that we have now. And once again, there's more things that we can loot around in the vicinity. Just be sure to be searching around in this area. I'm not going to go over all the loot that you can find down. Just going over the key things down here, such as unlocking this door with the cell key. You can see here's inside this cell, and keep in mind there may be some random items that'll spawn in each of these cells. Right now, nothing spawned in this one, unfortunately. But carrying on, here's another cell that we can unlock. Inside here, there's a loot container, chem box, some canned dog food. Obviously they wasn't treating the prisoners in here so great. But carrying on, inside this one, there's plenty of things that you can loot too. It's like a little armory in here.
And there's a safe, once again, right here too. Keep in mind that sometimes different items will spawn on these shelves, like you could find a fusion core potentially sometimes on these shelves and stuff like that. Just because you don't see the items spawn for me during this tour doesn't mean you won't find some items, some static items just around in the area. But here's another cell that we can unlock. We can unlock this one thanks to the key that we found over at Huntersville. Not a whole lot going on in here, but we can tell that this is supposed to be a top secret area. After all, this place is labeled a black site place. Not exactly sure if Bethesda has plans to maybe update this location in the future or something when, they start introducing the Enclave more. I don't know. But yeah, at the moment there's nothing too significant that we can find down here. But we can find some interesting lore though that describes what was happening at this top secret area. Anyways, here's the last cell that we can check out with the B2RS key. And here's what's inside this one. Once again, not much, but definitely an intriguing place. Anyway, speaking of the lore, let's go ahead and get into that next. Right next to those bizarre rooms that I told you it looked like they were doing experiments on people at, well, it turns out they were doing experiments on people. We can find this out by going up to the director's terminal right here, once again next to the strange rooms. It's literally right next to a window that's observing these rooms. As you can see here, you are going to have to hack into this terminal, which it's super easy. Once again, to hack into this, it's going to require a level 0 skill level. So yeah, once you're in, you'll have a bunch of different logs that you can read about the different experiments they were performing on these Somnus agents. And fun fact, Somnus in Latin means sleep. So these were sleeper agents, which makes sense because they were totally hypnotized and wasn't aware of what they were doing. That's why when you hack in this terminal, it states Project Somnus. This was a project by the United States Navy and government of hypnotizing people and making them do things that they weren't even aware they were doing. Check this out. If we click on the first log here, general notes, here's what it states. Need to cut down indoctrination and reprogramming time. Current averages are at about 3 days. If we could get this average down to 1 day or a matter of hours, it would greatly reduce suspicion. Until then, we will need to continue to rely on individuals with no immediate family. Despite our original expectations, individuals with lower mental aptitude are actually worse for the program than more intelligent individuals, because we still need to work within the confines of the human brain. Smarter people are better able to carry out orders without error, and can improvise to occlude their purpose if they are caught. Factors other than intelligence seem to influence malleability. After what happened with Somnus agent AJM1068, it is evident we need to speed up our progress on the ability to deprogram individuals. So they were brainwashing and programming individuals to do operations for them, and then they would just send them back after the operation was done, so there wasn't as much suspicion of them going missing. Also, they would prefer to do these experiments on more lonely people, so suspicion wouldn't happen as fast of them missing for a few days or whatever. As you can see here, for an example of this person they experimented with, it states exhibits signs of resilience to reprogramming. Double next session. If she still manages to resist, a partial wipe may be in order. We can always drop her outside her home and make it look like a late night bender. Her propensity for overindulging in alcohol is one of the reasons we chose her for this exact reason. So yeah, they were able to return her after experimenting on her without as much suspicion. Freaking creepy, right? And check this out. Here's another example of another agent they were working on. The last person that they experimented on this terminal, it was a self-described avid hiker, as you can see here. So no one questions her frequent disappearances. We can use her to collect data from the wooded mountainous areas nearby. On a trial basis, we have been experimenting with inserting a wide range of combat tactics, mostly revolving around martial arts. This person has shown much promise in accepting these techniques, completely unaware to her conscious self. Indeed, it appears this person managed to foil a bank robbery by employing hand-to-hand combat, with no recollection of the incident. Luckily, the official newsprint story attributes it to a sudden, instinctual rush of adrenaline triggered by the stress of the situation. So yeah, keep in mind, these experiments were happening pre-war, before the bombs dropped. But yeah, really interesting secret backstory that you can find down here that, once again, a lot of players probably missed. definitely recommend coming down here and doing some exploration yourself and reading up on all of these logs of the Somnus project, of the sleeper agents they were creating. Okay, so this last one is going to be also another long one, but it's going to be over a secret quest that you can do with the ally Adelaide. This is something you can literally make love didn't know about. At least I didn't for a while. I had this ally for a while, but I didn't know she had a hidden quest that you can do. What we're going to have to do is actually go over to Atlantic City and find this secret note. So let's head over to Atlantic City and go to the casino quarter. And instead of starting a expedition, we're just going to travel to the district. Just makes things easier. You can do this as well during the expedition if you want, but traveling to the district makes it so you can just come over here and just, take your time without feeling like you're on a mission. Alright, so we're over here now at the casino quarter in the Atlantic City. Now when you get over here, you just want to head this way. We're going to be heading to the Neapolitan Casino at this area, which you can find it by taking the route that I'm taking now. Yeah, it's not too far from where we first spawned in at this place. This is the area right here. This is the Neapolitan. So let's head on inside. Alright, so once in the casino here, you just want to head right and go down this elevator right here. Really easy elevator to unlock too, so that's also a perk. What you got unlocked, just drop down into this elevator shaft and then head back in this area right here. At this area, you can find a note over here on this table called Adelaide Reminder. Let's go ahead and pick this up and read it. This is what we want to return back to Adelaide, which is that weird Assaultron. As you can see here, it states here, let me spell it out for you bozos. Operation Bluebell will be taking place on Thursday, not Wednesday like Jimmy was saying, Thursday. If nothing else gets through your thick skulls, just remember Thursday. Why do you need to remember Thursday? Because that's the day you need to stay away from the rehearsal hall. Boss has some plans for that rising star Adelaide and wants to see if they can't get their money's worth from her with a secondary purpose. If you hear music on Thursday, congrats, you're an idiot who can't follow instructions. Run away! She's been upgraded with a remote receiver for an unforgettable show. Got it? Good. If you have questions, read this note again. Alright, so now, once we have this note, ooh, Guns and Bullets 6, don't mind if I do. But anyways, now, once we have this note, we want to then return it back to Adelaide, and she'll have some interesting dialogue for us, as well as a new romantic option too. We will be able to literally make love to her. I know, very bizarre. We're able to, hook up with this robot. I don't know. I know there was a robot like this in the past too in Fallout New Vegas. It was a robotic prostitute that went by Fisto. Yes, that was its actual name. So it's safe to assume how this robot got down. So yeah, this isn't the first time Bethesda has added something like this in the Fallout universe. But anyways, let's go ahead and head back to camp and talk to Adelaide now since we got this note. As you can see, when we go to talk to her this time,
are you here for business or pleasure?
We'll have this extra dialogue option now that we can say to her. I found a note in Atlantic City with your name on it. Let's go ahead and say this.
You'll need to narrow it down, darling. Anyone who could talk about me did talk about me.
Okay, so now let's go ahead and say to her, it didn't make a lot of sense, but it did mention an Operation Bluebell.
Now, why does that phrase ring a metaphorical bell? Let me check something. Keyword accepted. Unlocking. That unlocked something about my last performance. And about Frankie.
Let's say that doesn't answer a whole lot.
Frankie is, or was, my biggest fan. She came to all my shows and would always stop by after to give me flowers or suggestions for my next song.
What happened?
Frankie was a girl that got tied up with the wrong made man. I don't know if it was a Capulet type situation, but I knew the family wasn't happy. He was following her instead of the Dawn. My boss told me to invite her to a rehearsal performance. Nobody else but me on the stage and her in the seats during the chorus of my second song, everything went black. And when I resumed functions, she was dead. It was crystal clear that my laser killed her. No one was going to trust the smoking gun's innocence, so I skipped town.
Wow, so it seems like the mob put a hit on Frankie by using Adelaide here, since Frankie was a big fan of her. That's actually sad. I didn't expect something like this to happen with her. The mob hacked her somehow to make her do this. Anyways, now we have two options here. That wasn't you. The paper said something about a remote receiver. You said you resumed functions. Did you ever consider you got hacked? Let's go with this one, yeah.
That sounds like passing the blame. But I suppose they could have done something to me during my routine maintenance. I tried to be more than a weapon. But I guess I can't escape what I am, huh?
You're not defined by something that happened to you. What's important is how you handled it. No, but you can own it and grow from it. I'm not going to kick you out if that's what you're wondering. At least not yet. Now let's go with the first one. You are not defined by something that happened to you. What's important is how you handle it.
But there's a chance it'll happen again. I don't know how I could handle it if I hurt you too. Thank you for telling me. And for letting me talk about this. Though, I think it may be best if we keep a bit of distance between us. At least until I can move beyond this remote control issue. But enough about wallowing in the past. The show must go on. Back to my most important role. You know her. You love her. It's Adelaide.
Oh, that's sad. Anyways, let's say this to her. I think I know a way to fix your remote control issue.
Oh, really? Well, don't keep a girl waiting in anticipation.
So yeah, that was an extra dialogue option that we get to choose from once we had that whole conversation with her. Now there's a bunch of different options we can choose from here. If you had the robotics expert on, you could say I actually know a thing or two about the inner workings of robots. If you have intelligence 12 plus and higher, you can say I can alter some functions and make it incapable of receiving a signal. If you have luck 12 plus or higher, it says let's try something. Enter keyword ice cream. Or you can say I can hit your receiver with a hammer until we are sure it doesn't work anymore. Or you could say actually let me think on it more. Let's go ahead with the luck 12 plus option. Why not?
If you insist. Initializing software deletion. Fascinating. It seems that my memory banks have freed up some space. I have many questions, but the most pressing can be summarized by, how did you do that?
I think I heard about that working somewhere before. I guess Lady Luck was on my side. Let's go with that one. I guess Lady Luck was on my side. Why not?
And here I thought you were flipping through my manual to try and find my centerfold. Regardless, thank you, darling. I don't want to seem ungrateful, but, why did you help me?
Now, this is the big climax with her. As you can see, this option becomes available. It's a romance option that says, I want to be able to get close to you. Or you could just say, I wanted to set your mind at ease. Or you could say, I wanted to know you weren't going to kill me. Let's go with the romance option. This is so bizarre. Let's do it. Let's see what happens.
Oh, honey, I'm flattered. Really, I am, but look at me. Saying that I'm not like other girls is a bit of an understatement.
I like that you're different. It's fun. We may have different hardware, but I think we're still compatible. Let's go with the last one. You're never worried about being like someone else before. Why start now?
You're right. I'm like nothing you've ever seen before. I'm going to show you exactly what that means.
And the Tunnel of Love public event just popped up. Perfect timing.
I think this is the beginning of something beautiful.
Oh my gosh, guys. We just hooked up with a robot in Fallout. This is so weird. What were the developers thinking when they made this, dude? What the heck? Apparently,
You know, like I mentioned before, there was something like this in the past too with a robot that went by Fisto. So let's see though. Did we get a buff or anything after hooking up with her? Yes, we did. Human and robot interfacing. Take 25% less damage from robots and do 15% damage against robots. Which, by the way, you don't have to technically make love to her or whatever to get this buff. You can also, you know, have her teach you about human and robot interaction. But it's still like the same thing. You're basically hooking up with her with that option too. But this is just a whole another little side quest with her, which I think is really cool. The developers did this with her. I hope there's more ally quests like this in the future. But yeah, I guess that's wrapping up this video, everyone. Hope you all found this enjoyable and you learned something new from it. I'm out of here, though. As always, most importantly, I appreciate you all taking the time, watching, and listening. Until next time, peace.